Hey now, Deadheads. It's Dr. KOBA, back after a very long layoff. Uh, had to go through a bunch of shows with our series of going through and listening to the Enjoying the Ride 60th anniversary box set from this year, 2025. It's an enormous project, a lot of road trips. Just listening to these shows in the car, which is where I really kind of enjoy listening to the Dead when I'm out gallivanting about. This is I had been sort of sequestered off into the other end of the box set with the late '80s, early '90s. I had heard the '94 show, great. '93 show, awesome. And then I had kind of went back, heard 79, 84. It's been awesome. Those are great shows. I wanted to kind of get back into something a little bit different. So the box set allows you to just go to anywhere you want. And so technically, I've went to 1971. I've gone to 1991. I've gone to 1983, and then 1969, which was kind of the sleeper of the whole thing. It's awesome, but we'll get to that. For right now, though, we're going to talk about a little bit of a departure. It is 1971. It is February 1971. It is the week of the 17th, the 18th, the 19th, the 20th for the Grateful Dead at Portchester, New York, the Capitol Theater, which are a run of very famous shows. If you're a Deadhead, you would recognize these from the Beautiful Jam segment that's on the So Many Roads box set. You would know it from any of the 50th anniversary from Working Man's Dead, which I believe had 219 in it, and the American Beauty 50th anniversary, which would have 218 in it, I believe. That might be switched around. I don't have them in front of me right now, but what we have here is kind of the cleanup of 22071 and 22471. So we have just one disc from 220, and we have the full show from 224. I hadn't actually gone back and listened to some of these. This is where Mickey leaves, so we've got the birth, the very literal birth of the classic the classic lineup of one drummer, and you have Pigpen sort of playing organ at some points, but just usually not doing anything at all. Just kind of just having his spots with his songs, his blues songs. You got Good Lovin' coming up on here, with a proto 72 kind of thing happening. But what you have here are like new beginnings, and you have a lot of classic material. You got Skull and Roses is being created here. They're just not there yet. They would be a little bit later on in April of '71. It's where the Skull and Roses recordings are mainly come from, and I'm currently getting through this box set's version of those 1971 recordings. That'll be a different one, and I just wanted to kind of hear '71 as its own kind of thing. So for me, 22471 as a show itself, it wouldn't have made it Dave's picks. It wouldn't have made it Dick's picks. It is good, a great show to listen to as a Deadhead. It's not going to set anybody's hair on fire. It's interesting for what it is, and it's perfect for this box set. That's what a lot of these shows are. They're perfect for the box set because they wouldn't necessarily be considered to be full-frame classic shows, but they're of the same cloth as classic shows, the same era, the same set lists, recordings. And so that was my take on this, is that you have the beginnings of something different, and it's interesting from that perspective. It's all classic material. They start up with good Casey Jones, Me and My Uncle, a lot of rock music. You have good Cumberland blues. The Next Time You See Me is great. You get Big Pigpen coming up on that. The Bird Song's got its original version, so I love the original version, the original rhythm, the original chord changes from where it would kind of come in a little bit later on with Keith. anytime you get me and Bobby McGee, it's always good. Like I love that. I love when they do that. Jerry has some great solo moments in there. He's just kind of just flirting around with the melody, and it's it's just great. You have Bertha, the high energy Bertha. We're coming up on the classic, Skull and Roses Bertha. Hard to handle with Pigpen's ridiculous. Every time they're playing Hard to Handle, his first line always has that ridiculous like vocal off key kind of thing, baby. It's so bad that it makes you want to turn it off, but it never comes back again. But he does it on every single time, so it's like a literal choice that he's doing this. And then the band sounds awesome. They're being rock gods here. They're early classic rock guys. And so Jerry's got great runs. They're kind of just doing their jam thing with Pigpen making some lyrics or maybe not. But either way, it's all good stuff. You have the early version of Loser. You got an early version of Playing in the Band where it's extremely tight and like 4 minute song. I always dig those too. Like it always sounds good. And then you have like a good jam version for Good Lovin'. Take it or leave it on the song itself. When they get into the jam portion where you have Billy doing his solo first and then they kind of just do some jamming and that it creates something different, it's always good, and so there's no fault there. You get onto disc 2 of 224, second set. We got Sugar Magnolia, in its early versions. It's just high energy rock stuff. What's awesome is that Jerry's on the wah pedal for most of the stuff, so he's got a good wah thing happening. I'm a King Bee, which is kind of rare and great. Like Pigpen doing a different blues thing, great. We have Greatest Story Ever Told into Johnny Be Good. They're just doing some straight on rock stuff. You got an early version of Deal with, again, more early. At this point in time, songs are all new for them. They're just working them out, and they're also just kind of, this is going to be on Jerry's solo. We've got Bobby's solo. Records are happening all at the same time. Yeah, I think the highlight for me was the new Minglewood Blues, which kind of sounds strange, but like it's in its original form from like the very first record, from the first Grateful Dead record. It has the original chord changes. It's different. I like it. It perked my ears up. So then we got the pedal to the metal is going to the end of the show, and we have a end jam of Truckin', Not Fade Away, going down the road, Not Fade Away, into a big Love Light, which can either cut against or for. This one's like 19 minutes. It could either be not that great if it goes into a half hour or more. It's not so hot sometimes, and so here, Truckin' is concise, straightforward rock. We get Not Fade Away, and the Going Down the Road is great. Like it has a great little ending jam when they go back into Not Fade Away and into that rhythm. It's got a nice little E major jam, and then Phil, has to be mentioned here because he's driving the band. The sound of his instrument is perfect. The sound of what he's doing is great. He is muscular and attentive to everything, and just is the most valuable player along with Billy. They are carrying everything. It's all so well recorded and also well played. It's just high level stuff. You have a great workout on Love Light. If you enjoy Love Light, if you don't, like it's long enough to where you get a good sense of what's happening that night in Capitol Theater in Port Chester in 1971. People are just having a good time. Pigpen is calling out people from the front row, and he's talk about like trying to like play matchmaker between two people, and it's a little bit of like you never really hear them interacting with the audience like that, and so it's just a little fun little time capsule of what's going on. They're just young and having fun playing music. That's really the takeaway, and then that energy is still present for 220-71. We get another Hard to Handle opener. It looks like we've really just got like the second set, I guess, but that one's great too. I think the third disc here is the one that really I dug a little bit more than maybe the 224 show in its entirety. Uh, they were a little more of an edge, like hard to handle rocks out. Then they're doing Cryptical Drums other one, which I thought was really cool. I loved the fact that they're still doing Cryptical here, Cryptical envelopment. It has, you know, the Dayglow 60s vibe happening, but they go into a great drum solo by Billy, and then the other one gets into some weird spaces and some really nice, you know, E minor kind of hazy rock kind of, you know, psych rock energy happening, which is good. They're really, they don't sound as if they've just lost a member of their band and they have no backup. They sound like as confident as the day they started. So, and the fact that it goes into a great wharf rat, which is awesome here. It's like brand new. It's peppy. It keeps going towards the end. There's nothing dragging here. We have the excitement of new music being created, and it really kind of really shows. And then they get into Ripple, which is maybe not the greatest version of Ripple that they played, but it's fun anytime they bring that out. Like, it was rare. Like, they should have brought this out more. And then we get another version of Not Fade Away, Going Down the Road, Not Fade Away, Love Light, which is also just as good as the other one, as the 224 show. Maybe a little more gritty, but it's kind of the same setup. This is you know, they have pins that they knock down, and they click together. It has, I would probably prefer this version. I thought the Love Light was just as good. Kind of like it's just as long. They're about 20 minutes each, either one of them. I thought they're great. You know, it's good stuff. Am I gonna go back and hear it again? You know, only if I get kind of interested in this era. Like 71's great with no piano, just guitars, just voices, as straightforward and true as it gets, and that's really what you get here. So if you dig the Skull and Roses band, if you dig the bonus material that comes on Working Man's Dead and the American Beauty 50th anniversary, where we get more of those shows, which I actually haven't listened to, you get good stuff here. So I'll put this out here. You get to see this a little bit. It's a cool little thing there. So, you know, this one is about a B plus for me. I think it was all good. It just wasn't stuff that would turn the world around. Like, it's just a high level Grateful Dead, which is as good as it gets. You can't complain. It's a good day, you know. So, well, Deadheads, this is Dr. KOBA. I've got more of these videos to do. I've been putting them off, and so like, share, subscribe. This is 224 and 22071 Cap Theater. Good stuff. Wouldn't turn it off. Have a good one, yo.